So there's one particular denominational group that's really a cult that keeps pushing. There's actually two of them, but there's one group that keeps pushing this idea that there's no rapture. Where does this come from? According to them, because they haven't really researched this, as in they haven't researched it at all. They're going by what one of their false prophets tells them. They believe there's no rapture. And they connect it to the event, the Darby event. A minister who taught the concept of a rapture back in 1847 or 1837. And it all came because of a young lady. She was about 12 years old. She arrived and said she had a vision. And this vision encompassed having the church be secretly rescued and taken away to be with the Lord. Now, of course, the book of Daniel was sealed and was not opened until very recently, because it's only now that we really are starting to know things that we didn't know before. But it had nothing to do with Darby. Darby got it from Paul. Paul in Thessalonians, who was telling his church, his very beloved Thessaloniki, the church of Thessaloniki, he was telling his church, his congregants, that they had not missed the rapture, because everybody at the time knew about the rapture. You know, Jesus Christ had made it very clear that there was a rapture. In fact, most of the parables that Christ talks about relate to the rapture. The parable of the 10 virgins is a rapture parable. The rapture of the vineyard owner and paying the vineyard laborers is a rapture parable. The parable of the tares and the wheat, that's a rapture parable. The parable, when he mentions the falling of the tower, that is a rapture parable. The sheep and the one sheep that's lost, that's a rapture parable. You know, at this time we are to go out and find that lost sheep. Everything Christ spoke about related to the harvests talks about the three harvests: the wheat, the barley, the grapes, and all related to the rapture, because there's the gleanings, there's the first, the owner's portion. The gleanings are given to the poor and the stranger, and then there's the first fruits, right? God's entire ministry through Christ relates to the rapture. Everything to do with the imagery that Christ is using relates to the rapture. The bride, the catching away of the bride. When he talks about the leveling of Jerusalem, that no stone will be left unturned, related to the rapture. That's going to happen on the night that Damascus is destroyed, Ezekiel 37:38. I keep saying this, you know, the Bible is quite literally, most of it related to the rapture. It's a great big book about lots of things, mostly about the kingdom of heaven and the kingdom that will be established under Christ. But it's all about not only the payment, the dowry that Christ paid for his beloved bride, but it is also about the rescue, the coming in the middle of the night with the shout, the cry of command, the voice of the archangel, the trumpet of God, in the middle of the night, coming for his bride, right? It's all about the rapture. I'm sorry to say, but those who don't see this are misled, and mostly because of a false prophet. And as I said, there's two denominations that keep coming up with, oh, there's no rapture. There is a rapture. And if you don't see it, remember the currency of heaven, the currency of the kingdom is faith. And if you don't see the rapture, it's very possible you might be left behind. So the rapture's a real thing.